Hi, I'm CMOS, and this is another episode of Hauling Ass. Today I'll be reviewing the Indian 1920 Solo Saddle Seat, and my first attempt at a motovlog. It's a little rough around the edges, and I definitely commend the rest of you motovloggers out there because it's not as easy as it looks. Either way, if I miss anything in the test ride, leave a comment in the section below, and I definitely will respond within the same day. Let's go ride! So I'll start off with saying that this saddle seat is way more comfortable than the stock seat that comes on it. Reason being is the seat is a little bit more, it's a little bigger, so my ass has a lot more space, pardon my language, and it just feels a lot better. The bumps, you know, you can still feel the bumps. I mean, without the shock improvements, you're gonna feel the bumps with this seat. It's not as bad as the stock seat, and you sit a little bit higher. I feel like I'm like 3 inches higher. Even with these 10-inch apes that are coming back, I'm in a more aggressive stance. As far as, let's say, the comfort seat compared to this, the comfort seat obviously is more comfortable. I can go longer distances. It sits lower than this seat, about an inch or two. So the comfort seat's higher than the stock seat, lower than this seat. Another thing is, when I gas it, I still have more support than I do on the stock seat. So if you're looking for an improvement based off of comfort on the stock seat, this is way better in all aspects. Unless you don't like the stance of sitting a little higher, or if you're super short and for some reason you can't reach the ground. But this bike is, low to the ground, so I don't think that'll be an issue. For the taller guys, this seat might be an option just because it gives them more leg room than both of the other seats. So, from that aspect, I would definitely recommend this. With this saddle seat, I can see myself going about maybe an hour and a half before I start getting some discomfort in my butt and maybe lower back, because this doesn't have lower back support. It's just a flat seat. It's bigger than the stock seat, so it gives you, the illusion of having more wiggle room. So on March 14th, I'll be in Daytona for Bike Week, and the seat of choice for that is going to be the comfort seat, just because it's a 2.5-3 hour drive for me. And honestly, highway riding, I prefer the comfort seat over this. But if I were to reside maybe an hour and a half, maybe an hour away, I would probably choose this seat because it looks way cooler. So if it's raining and stuff, F it. I'm gonna go with the comfort seat. I know this seat will probably get a little slick in the rain. I haven't tested that out yet, but it's a little flat and it's wide, so I can imagine sliding around on this a little bit. So if any of you guys are out in Daytona, shoot me a comment or whatever, and let me know. Maybe we can meet up and have a couple brews. I'll be there with my co-host Josh, who's also part of Hauling Ass, and hopefully he'll be uploading some videos here shortly. Who knows, depending on his time. He's a very busy guy, so who knows. Now this is see this bridge coming up here? This is where I recommend, with this seat, I actually do the standing maneuver. I kind of pull my handlebars a little bit, like release the tension on my ass and stand up, because some of those on this seat will hurl you up into the air, and that's no fun. You don't want to be in the air on one of these bikes and go over the it's just not comfortable feeling like you're going to go over the handlebars, and plus it jacks your spine up. This bike is, I think it has a Goldilocks zone. When you see those YouTube videos of people with suspension issues, God, I keep moving this camera around. Let me readjust this. I keep seeing these videos with people having suspension issues, and it's not comfortable, this and that. I think it's because this bike is not meant for like people in the 280 to 300 pound zone. Now, I'm not saying they can't ride it, but it just is not set up for it because it's super low in the suspension, and I think it's 2 inches of travel. So it's not ideal for a hefty guy, a muscular. It doesn't matter what your body build is. If you're 200 to 300 pounds, 280 to 300 pounds, That's a lot of weight that this bike's carrying for the low suspension. Woo! I felt that bump right there. All right, on the comfort seat that would have been a no feel right there, but on this seat, yep, my lower back felt that, just like the stock seat. So, you know, you're gonna look good. That's all I gotta say. Oh boy. And like the rest of Florida, new development just popping up everywhere. I'm surprised I'm not running into like any like wild boars or anything in this area, because it's a lot of conservation. Like this conservation back here. Nice little path to walk down if you guys live in this area and recognize that fish stock conservation. And this is a new roundabout they just installed, and pretty soon there's going to be no grass in all of Florida. It's just going to be houses and downtown. I can probably now successfully ride on a full tank of gas on this seat. So it's actually getting better and better with time. Now I know a couple of my comments in the past here, and like maybe a couple of my little clips that I showed here in the same ride, I mentioned that. But I want to, I just wanted to highlight that with time this seat does get better. So don't be discouraged if you buy this seat. The first time you're out, it hurts, because your body has to acclimate to different postures and different seating positions, and the wind's hitting you differently. You're sitting higher, and the wind's catching you a little bit more. Now you can get yourself in more of an aggressive position just because you're sitting higher and you're leaning over the handlebars, so it might not be as bad, but you can feel a little bit more in your legs. Alright, so the conclusion of this review is that the standalone saddle seat is more comfortable than the stock seat, not as comfortable as the comfort seat, but way cooler looking. So if you're on the fence of buying the seat, I would pull the trigger, because it's way worth it. If you're going city to city, if you're bar hopping, if you're doing any of those things, man, this seat is second to none. If you're going to travel long distance, alright, well, bring your comfort seat along if you have it. Throw your stock seat away. That thing's complete garbage. And, enjoy your ride, man. So, if you guys have any questions, leave a comment in the section below, and subscribe and help my channel out if you like my information. Either way, CMOS out.